Awesome. All right. I think I'm going to get started and then we'll just let folks join and come in as they log on. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aaliyah Couch. I am the Chief of Policy and External Affairs over at the Department of Community Affairs. Just want to welcome you all to the Interagency Utilities webinar hosted by DCA, the Board of Public Utilities, and then we have SHARES on as well. With us presenting today, we'll have Charisma Brown from DCA, Elizabeth Lawrence from BPU, and then Nick Cara from SHARES, who will all provide a presentation about the utilities assistance programs their respective agencies have to offer. After we hear from our presenters, there will be an opportunity for a Q&A. We ask that you just drop your questions in the chat, and any questions that we don't get to, we can definitely follow up with folks after the webinar. All right. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Charisma. You should be able to share your screen and start your presentation.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Well, appropriate
Yes.
one. Can you see my PowerPoint? Okay, cool. Let's see. At the Department of Community Affairs, we offer home energy assistance, the Home Energy Assistance Program. The Home Energy Assistance Program was designed to help low-income households and individuals lessen the burden of their home heating and medically necessary cooling costs by providing one-time benefits in the form of HEA, cooling, and emergency assistance. The funding source for home energy assistance, the program is funded by the U.S. Department of Health and Home Energy, which is funded through the congressional appropriation. To qualify for home energy assisted benefits, a household must meet the following eligibility requirements. The applicant must be a resident of New Jersey. The applicant or household member must be responsible for heating payments, and the household's gross income must not exceed 60% of the state median income. Benefit amounts are determined by the household's income, size, the fuel type, and the region in New Jersey. Required documents for an application require proof of identification, income, and address documentation. For applicants applying for cooling assistance, a doctor's note is required and/or a critical care certification form. Some New Jersey residents are automatically enrolled in the program, which include supplemental nutrition assistant program recipients and pharmaceutical assistance for the aged and disabled recipients. For all other New Jersey residents, the application process requires applicants to apply online at www.newjersey.gov-dc-dca-dc-aid. The link is in front of us. Applicants who require in-person assistance with their applications can visit their local agency. I don't have the list right in front of me, but I can provide the web link at the end of the presentation. New Jersey 211 is also available 24/7 as a home energy assistance hotline administrator, which provides language translations services for over 150 languages. Now that I've covered home energy assistance, let's move on to BPU. Elizabeth, I'll leave that to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So, am I?
Sure if I can open.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth Florence. I am with the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities. I am a supervising program specialist, and I deal with outreach as far as bringing awareness about the utility assistance that the state has to offer to its constituents. Um, During my time at the BPU, I have dealt with inquiries for customer complaints, service bill, high bills, but currently I am dealing with the financial utility assistance and providing awareness for these programs to the families that are in need. The mission of the New Jersey BPU is to ensure that safe, adequate, and proper utility services are provided at a reasonable, non-discriminatory rates to all members of the public who desire such services, to develop and regulate a competitive, economically cost-effectively energy policy that promotes reasonable growth and clean renewable energy sources while maintaining a high quality for life in New Jersey. Customer Assistance, Bureau of Energy Programs and Assistance. Our mission is to provide customer assistance information, advocacy, and outreach to the public regarding New Jersey's energy assistance programs. The unit provides helpful information and support to public regarding assistance available to the New Jersey utility customers, federal, state, local representatives, stakeholders, and other interested parties. When to refer a customer to the BPU is when the customer has attempted to resolve a complaint with their utility company regarding issues and it was not resolved. For high bills, payment arrangement, deposit requests, slamming, which is third-party suppliers, winter termination program, summer termination program, fresh start, and incorrect rates. We also can assist with some USF LIHEAP application statuses, but we insist that you have the constituent reach out to the Department of Community Affairs and to NJ211. If the customer is in danger of disconnection um, or is disconnected and unsuccessfully has tried to reach out to their utility provider, you can have the customer reach out to us and we can assist the customer. If the customer needs a BPU witness meter test, you can also reach out to us. Our contact information is below and the phone number to reach out to our customer assistant reps is below as well. So the winter termination program, the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities offer a shut-up protection program for eligible residential customers called the Winter Termination Program, better known as the WTP, which prevents the shutoff of electric, gas, water, wastewater services under the New Jersey Administration Code that's listed below. During the WTP, all disconnection notice generated by the utilities should be provided with a fact sheet. Basically, ensuring that the customer is notified about the WTP program. Until the board renders a determination, the utility must not discontinue services. WTP eligible customers must make a down payment of up to 25% of their outstanding balance to enter into the WT program as well. So that's considered the good faith payment, which is a 12-month a 12-month payment plan during WTP. So now we also have the summer termination program that just started this year. We are not sure if this is going to be something that's permanent, but at the moment we do have the summer termination program it's operating from July 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2025. The program operates the same way as the winter termination program, plus no reconnection fees and a 24-month payment plan. So the WTP program is 12 months. STP, which is summer termination program, is 24 months. And they also have the same eligibility status as far as you have to be on TANF, SSI, PAD, GA, or facing some type of hardship, which is in the catch-all category. So now we're going to move into the Universal Service Fund. The Universal Service Fund, which is better known as USF, is an energy assistance program designed to help make energy bills more affordable by providing a monthly credit on qualifying residential electric, gas, public utility bills. The New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, which is better known as DCA, administers the USF program for the BPU funds through the Societal Benefits Charge. USF shares its application with DCA. Low income home energy assistance program, which is better known as LIHEAP, so customers can apply for both programs at the same time. USF has the same income ceiling as the LIHEAP, which is a 60% of the state median income. After LIHEAP season closes June 30th, new USF applicants are still processed through mid-August. About August 15th, it ends. So around that time, that's when USF closes. USF keeps energy costs at or below 4% of the annual household income for 90% of its participants. High energy burden customers should be referred to EE programs, which is energy efficiency programs. Only 20% of the income eligible New Jersey resident household participate in USF, this is why we're trying to bring awareness of the programs so more participants can apply. So now we're going to go into the threshold. USF covers natural gas, non-heating, electric costs that are 2% of household income, up to a cap of $180 per month for gas and electric combined. USF covers electric heating costs over 4% of the household income up to the cap. Utility reports the 12 months of usage to the USF HEA system, and the system automatically calculates the monthly USF benefit, taking into account income, LIHEAP, heating benefits, and lifeline benefits. If a customer spends less than the required percentage of the income, they are not denied. Instead, they are defaulted to the minimum monthly USF benefit, which is currently $5 for the gas and $5 for electric. So the updates to the USF program for the next year is USF minimum monthly benefit will increase from its $5 monthly per month benefit and $60 per year to $20 per month, $240 per year. For customers with both gas and electric accounts, this would mean a minimum $20 USF monthly credit on each account. USF maximum monthly benefit will increase from $180 per month to $2,160 per year to $200 per month and $2,400 per year, which is a great thing. For customers with both gas and electric accounts, maximum benefit is for gas and electric benefits combined. If a customer receives the maximum benefit on one account, the customer would be defaulted to the minimum $20 per month on the second account. As far as the Fresh Start program, Fresh Start is a program for USF enrollees that provides USF customers with an opportunity to earn forgiveness on their overdue balances. Fresh Start is available no more than once in every 5-year period. Fresh Start is administered by the gas and electric utility companies with oversight from the BPU. So if a customer is eligible, the customer must have a balance of $60 or more and be a USF applicant and have not received Fresh Start within the last 5 years. The Fresh Start customer pays 1 month bill in full, and the utility forgives 1/12 of the Fresh Start balance. And then they also have a 3-month catch up. So if a customer missed 1 month, they'll be able to catch up within those 3-month periods. So in total, they will get 15 months of the Fresh Start forgiveness. So now we're going to go into outreach. BPU has launched an outreach program April 2023 in Trenton, New Jersey. At that outreach event, we had about 1,200 residents come out to that event. At these events, BPU partner with DCA, utility companies, local LIHEAP agencies, counties, municipal governments, and other state partners such as SHARES, Lifeline Navigators, New Jersey Clean Energy Programs. These participants have helped our event success, and we appreciate all of them. The number of customer touch points due to outreach efforts since 2023 is 11,620 residents and counting. Outreach definitely makes a difference as far as bringing awareness to the communities. These are the counties that we have visited so far, and we're trying to visit more in the upcoming season. We did have a late Utility Assistance Day, August 14th. At that event, we did have 125 residents come out and participate and be enrolled into the programs. And we are trying to plan more for the upcoming season. If you have any suggestions for future locations that you feel as though we should reach out to or participate within an event, you can reach out to us at the email address that's listed. And thank you all. I'm going to pass it to shares now.
Thank you. Just give me a second to share screens. Okay. So to share. All right. All right. Before I begin, I'll just put that in the chat. Just lost it now. 1 second. There we go. So I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. I'm Nick Carr from Shares. I've been with Shares for 3.5 years now. I'm the Director of External Affairs. I oversee the development team, which is pretty much our team that manages our outreach events, our partnerships with other community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, as well as our government partners in the legislature, county, and municipal partners. So today I'm going to go over some of our utility programs. Some of you may be familiar, we did change our name in February from New Jersey Shares to Shares. Same organization, just we're expanding in some other states. Our main energy grant is the Board of Public Utilities Payment Assistance for Gas and Electric, most commonly known as the PAGE grant. This is, again, it's the Board of Public Utilities grant. We administer it for them for the next, for 3 years. So last year, this year, and the next year. Just give me a second to get this Teams thing out of my way. So this is a grant that provides energy assistance for electric and gas arrearages. Pretty much all of our grants are going to be arrearage-based, which is a little different than what we heard about LIHEAP and USF. So this is a grant that's open to both low and moderate income households. So the low income households, similar to LIHEAP and USF, that's going to match that 0 to 60% state median income. And then what's considered a moderate income household would be from that 60.1 to 100% state median income. For those that do fall into that 0 to 60% threshold, they can get a grant for their gas and or electric up to $500 for each utility service. But since those households do qualify for LIHEAP and USF based on income, there may be other reasons they don't, but at least if we see that they're income eligible for LIHEAP and USF, they do have to apply for those programs first and then receive a determination for those programs. Once that happens, then they can come to Shares to apply for the PAGE grant. If for whatever reason someone who falls in that low income threshold is denied LIHEAP and USF, then they can actually get up to $700 for each utility service, gas and electric, for the PAGE grant. Also, if a house relies on electric powered medical equipment, then the grant for electric service would also increase from $500 to $700 for those low income households. For the maximum income or maximum moderate income households, the maximum grant amount will jump up to $700 for gas and or electric services. And this grant is awarded once per calendar year per utility. So if someone were to apply maybe early in the year, January, February, for assistance with their gas bill coming out of winter, they can get approved for that. They could still apply later in the year for electric. But once they get an approval for both gas and electric or vice versa, then they are not eligible to reapply until January 1st. So here on the left-hand side, you'll see the income guidelines for household size for both the low income, 0 to 60% state median income, and then moderate, again, that's 60.1 to 100% state median income. So as you can see, people, when I'm at outreach events, they're always shocked to hear what the maximum income levels are for these programs. So a lot of people don't think they qualify. So if there's anything you can take away from this, if you're not speaking to a constituent, make sure they just reach out. They'll never know what they can qualify for if they don't ask. So again, just a reminder, if they do fall in that low income guideline, then they do have to apply to LIHEAP and USF first. As we heard earlier, those programs do close at certain points in the year. So for June 30th, when LIHEAP closes, we do remove that requirement. And now that USF closed at the end of last week, that requirement's also been removed until they reopen October 1st. So right now, those requirements aren't in place. We do say they have to be at risk of service termination. So that's arrears, a shut-off notice issued, or have their services shut off. Again, it is for arrears. So if the constituent doesn't owe on their bill anything than what's currently due, as in, just for the last month of service, then they wouldn't be eligible to receive the grant. The household must reside at the service address listed on the utility bill. So it's for residential customers only. We do have a good faith payment requirement of $25 for the moderate income households. Again, so that's above 60 but below 100% state median income, and that is waived if the household or applicant has recently applied for unemployment or temporary disability insurance with the Department of Labor. But that can also be split up among if they're applying for both gas and electric at the same time. That could be 15 to one utility, 10 to the other. And that payment has to be made by the date, as at least the same date of the application. But again, they have that 90-day window. If for some reason they didn't make that payment until after they apply, the application will be rejected, but they can reapply the same day they receive, the same day they make the payment. So it's not like that locks you out forever. And I'm going to go over our documents here a little more in detail, as the other grants are pretty similar. So not to be too repetitive, but for the PAGE grant, we do typically need IDs for all household members, regardless of age. And again, that's just to verify household size. For adults, we typically, if they have a driver's or state ID with their address, we typically prefer that just because we don't need a proof of residency check. But if not, they can also provide a passport, whether that's a U.S. or foreign passport, birth certificates. We don't require social security numbers, but they can also provide social security cards. But in those cases, since the address isn't on those, we're going to ask for an additional proof of residency. And then we also look at income just for the last 30 days. So that would be proof of income for everyone 18 and older. Typically, that's employment, unemployment, Social Security award letters, pensions, child support or alimony, workers' compensation, rental income if they're a landlord, and I always blank on that last one. But it's in our guidelines, so you could look that up. But that's typically what we consider as income. Because we only look at the last 30 days, we don't take W-2s or 1099s or any kind of tax document like that, because that will show us previous income from a prior year. So it's just the last 30 days. And the last one I'm forgetting is if they're self-employed or they don't receive paychecks. It's either a letter from themselves if they're their own employer, or a letter from their employer stating the exact amount made in the last gross amount made in the last 30 days. And then before I get to categorical eligibility, the last thing we typically ask for is a copy of the most recent energy bill. So those are typically the documents we need for the PAGE grant. Starting last year, we did add the categorical eligibility option. So in lieu of the income and IDs that we would need for household members, they could provide proof that they're receiving assistance from one of the following programs within the last year. So some of these are grants that we already have, like some of our other grants, and then some are more outside grants, as we say. So anything that's an internal grant, so like the Aqua Aid grant, any of the other New Jersey Shares Energy programs, like SMART, or Shares Energy, our Smart Housing program, or our New Jersey American Water programs. Those are internal, so we don't need any letters from the applicant. We could look that up in our system. For LIHEAP and USF, we do have access to DCA's portal for those, so we can also look up on the behalf of the client proof that they have those programs. So we don't need those determination letters. But what we would need, if they have Lifeline Utility Assistance through PAD, if they're on Medicaid from NJ Family Care, or if they have SSI, SNAP, TANF, or Veterans Pension or Veterans Survivors Pension, we'll need those provided by the client. We don't have access to that. And the one I also forgot to mention, Lifeline Communications, we do offer assistance with that program as well. So if we help them, we can pull that information, but if they applied on their own, since that doesn't sit in our portal, it's a federal program, then they would have to provide us a copy of that letter. So that's the documentation for the Board of Public Utilities grant. Our next energy grant is the New Jersey Sheriff's Smart Utility Assistance Program. It's pretty similar to Page with a couple key differences. So one of the main differences, the grant is up to $500 for gas and electric, whether you're smart, low or moderate income household. But it's still a once per calendar year grant per utility. As you can see on the left-hand side, since we don't have different tiers of income that determines your benefit from the program, you'll see it just shows 0 to 100% state median income on the left-hand side there. But that's still whether or not, since we don't change that, but either way, because of LIHEAP and USF and PAGE, you have to apply to those programs first if you do still fall between 0 and 60% of the state median income, or for PAGE even up to 100%. And again, we need to see the determination. So as we like to say, we kind of stack our grants. So, we'll help if you have a balance, you can apply for all three at the same time if you're eligible. And then, we'll process the PAGE grant first. If you still have a balance, then we'll process Smart Utility. And then if you still have a balance, then we'll process Shares Energy, which I'll cover next. But as far as eligibility and documentation, it's the same as the PAGE grant. So IDs for all household members. There needs to be arrears on the account, income for the last 30 days for all household members over the age of 18, and the most recent energy bill. And then in lieu of those ID and income documentation, it's the same categorical eligibility options as the PAGE grant. So we would need a letter, or if it's internally with us, we can provide that, just saying that you have that other assistance. Then our last energy grant for gas and electric is the New Jersey Shares Energy Assistance Grant. This was our original grant that was what we were founded on back in 1998. The key difference here, there's a couple key differences. So this is a moderate income only grant. So you have to be, this doesn't use state median income. It uses, it just switched to state median income. It used to use the federal poverty level. So now this will match PAGE and Smart Utility. So this would be for those between that 60.1 to 100% state median income. So because this is for households that are not eligible for LIHEAP and USF, the grant amounts up to $700 for both gas and electric service. It's once per calendar year per utility. But a key thing with this one, unlike the Board of Public Utilities grant, which is again funded by the state, and Smart Utility, which is funded by the state, this is funded by mostly donations and sometimes from the utility companies. So because the funding is more limited on this, we do also have this requirement that the grant must maintain or restore service. So if your arrearage is so high that even after getting PAGE Smart, and then you might need more assistance with Shares Energy, but if it's not going to maintain or restore service, you're not going to be eligible for the grant. Like I said, this uses now state median income. So for those that this change happened in June. So if I did send out an email blast, but if not, again, here you'll see it starts at that 60.1% up to 100% state median income. Also, again, it covers arrears. So, if you don't owe in your bill, you're not going to be eligible. This one does have a good faith payment like PAGE. It's a little higher. It's at $100, again, made within 90 days. And if you're applying for both gas and electric at the same time, you can make those payments, $50 to $150 to the other, any combination that equals up to $100. And then also for this grant, just to make it a little easier on seniors and those that receive Social Security disability, if they're in a household of 1 or 2 members, you'll see on the left that typically the maximum income for 1 or 2 members is $6,652 or $8,699. But again, if you're 65 or older or on SSD, we actually bump up the income to $163,000 annually, or $13,588 in monthly income. So this is, again, when I said earlier, people think they don't qualify for things like most people I've come across don't make that much in a household of 1 or 2. So they'll definitely qualify if they need the help. Documentation, again, is going to be the same. IDs for all household members, income for the last 30 days, and a copy of the most recent bill. The only thing is categorical eligibility is a little different for this one since it's a moderate income only grant. It's just going to be our other grants instead of some outside programs. So if they already have approval for PAGE or SMART, which they would before getting this grant, typically, then they are categorically eligible. We would just need to copy the most recent bill. But we also include Shares Energy if they were approved earlier in the year, maybe for gas. They apply later in the year for electric. They don't have to go through the whole process again. And also if they receive assistance from our housing program. And changing gears a little bit, that was mostly gas and electric. This grant does cover electric as well, but it's mostly for water and wastewater, just because there's only 11, I believe, municipal electric utilities in the state. But since none of the municipal utilities have access to LIHEAP and USF, we've created a grant, just because this is mostly water. We've created this grant through some funds we were awarded by a merger by, I think, South Jersey Industries. So we used that funds to create what we're calling this a pilot program. So we have $400,000 a year for this program, and it runs for 5 years. So we're in year 2. So we'll also still be around till at least 2028. But since it's technically a statewide program with $400,000, it's not going to go very far. So the grant amounts are a little smaller than you've seen on our energy grants. So it's $200 for water, $200 for sewer, and $200 towards electric, all for the municipal utilities. But like our other programs, this is once per calendar year per utility. But this does still use the federal poverty level up to 400%. I don't believe that will change like Shares Energy, because this has to be a low income grant per the requirements of that being awarded those funds. But it's still going to work like all of our other grants. So IDs for all household members, income for the last 30 days for everyone 18 and older, and most recent copy of the municipal utility bill. But since this is a low income program, it does have the same categorical eligibility options as we covered on for the Page Grant and Smart Utility. And here is a current list of our municipal partners. If I remember correctly, I think we're at 53. So we're always constantly adding more. So if you don't see towns in your legislative districts here, I would be the person you're going to want to contact about that. I'm the one who usually makes the initial reach out to the municipality. I can say we have a couple more that I've been talking to this week. So this list is constantly growing. But here, here's a current list of partners that are live in our portal at this moment. And some of these, like Riverdale, just so people understand, like Riverdale, Prospect Park Borough, they're not necessarily their own bills. Like Riverdale Borough gets billed out of Butler Borough, and Prospect Park's under Passaic Valley Water Commission. But we do want to list those out because a lot of people, when they call us, they're not always sure who they're paying their bill to, but they know what town they live in. So you'll see those listed out now in our portal as well. Made it easier for everybody. And here's just a quick overview of our energy programs, as well as that municipal program. We also call that MCAP for short, Municipal Customer Assistance Program. So you can kind of see, again, LIHEAP USF, where their maximum incomes are at household size, where Page LI is, Shares Municipal Customer Assistance Grant, Smart Utility, Page MI, and Shares Energy. So you kind of see a lot of them are matching now. So this chart will be updated in October, when I believe that's, I guess, state median income will change, and then it updates again in January when the FPL changes. So when we update this graph, I will send it out to everybody in one of my email blasts. So we'll always make sure that everyone has a copy of that. And then lastly, we do have some water assistance grants. So we partner with the 3 investor owns besides having that municipal program. The first is New Jersey American Water. They actually have a grant and a discount program. So first I'll cover the grant that's known as the H2O Help to Others program. And that's a grant of up to $500 to help customers with their water bills. They do a little different than our energy side. So they have a grant. It's available once every 36 months. So if you were approved today, you'll be eligible to reapply in 3 years from today. And it uses the federal poverty level 300% or below. So you could see that on the left-hand side. New Jersey American Water, this is their grant. So these are their rules. You have to owe at least $100 on your bill to get the grant, but your balance can't be higher than $500. There has to be a shutoff notice issued, or your service currently shut off to qualify for the grant. And they also do have a $100 good faith payment. And being that it's only American Water, it would be $100 fully to New Jersey American Water. And then their discount program, the name changed a little less than a year ago, so it's now known as the Universal Affordability Discount Program. So they made some slight changes to that last year. So this now offers a tiered discount ranging from 15 to 60% off the fixed service charge and usage charge for the water and wastewater bills. So this does also cover sewer. It's also up to 200% of the federal poverty level, and it's a recertification every 2 years. So what that means is you'll get a monthly discount for 2 years, and then after 2 years, we send out a recertification packet to reapply. So the way the tiered discount works, if you're between 0 and 50% of the federal poverty level, you'll get tier 1, which is 60% discount. And again, just for reference, I looked at my New Jersey American Water bill yesterday, came in the mail. My fixed service charge is $23. So you can kind of figure out based on where somebody might fall in the tiers, what that discount would be. And the usage charge obviously is different depending on usage, but so that'd be tier 2 would be 50.1 to 100% of the federal poverty level, and that would be the 45% discount. Tier 3 is 100.1 to 150% of the federal poverty level for the 30% discount, and then tier 4 for the 15% discount would be that 150.1 to 200% of the federal poverty level. And then we have a program, again, Veolia we do in a few other states. That's what caused our name change. But for New Jersey, they have the Veolia Cares program, which offers $150 towards water bills. And that's a once per calendar year grant as well. So key thing about Veolia Water is they don't have any income guidelines. So because of that, we don't need to verify household size or income. So we don't need IDs for everybody, just the applicant. So the applicant should be the one applying, the person whose name is on as the account holder. We need their ID and then a copy of their Veolia bill. So that's all as far as documentation. And then they do have a $20 good faith payment requirement over 90 days. But if you meet those 3 items, then you owe on your bill, or if you're in a crisis with your bill, then they'll give you a grant of up to $150. And then the last of the investor-owned water companies is Aqua New Jersey. So they do have a $150 water service grant, or $250 if you have water and sewer service. And that's a once every 12 months, so a little different than once per calendar year. If you're approved today, you have to wait a year from that date to reapply. They also use the federal poverty level up to 200%, and they only have a $1 good faith payment over 90 days. And then because they use the income guidelines, so it's still going to need IDs for all household members and income for all adults over the last 30 days, as well as a copy of the Aqua New Jersey bill. So those are our utility programs. The last one I'm going to cover is the New Jersey Shares Mortgage Assistance Rent and Taxes Program. So this is to help with overdue mortgage, rent, and property taxes. Also can be used for first month's rent and security deposit on the rental side, up to $5,000. And we say they have to be past due at least 30 days. Some of those bills are paid quarterly, but as long as they're past due, they'll be eligible. It also uses state median income, but it's actually a different state median income than the energy side. So this comes from HUD, whereas the energy programs use state median income from Health and Human Services. So it's a little different here. So that's 80% of that state median income. We do need IDs for all household members, income for the last 30 days, and a copy of the lease, mortgage, or property tax statement. And starting this year, this program now also has a good faith payment of $1,000 over 90 days. And it is also a once per lifetime grant. So once you receive this grant, you're not eligible to reapply. That's also funded by the state. Pretty much the program's been closed this year. It's ready to reopen. We're just waiting on a release of the funds from DCEA. So as soon as we get that, the program will reopen. I'll send out an email to everybody so you could share that with your constituents. And that's it. So I don't know if you want to turn it back over for questions.
Yeah, no, thank you all for your presentations. They were great, very informative. The chat is open if folks want to start dropping in their questions. We do have one in. This is going to be directed to Shares. Does Sussex Rural Electric Co-op members qualify for the Municipal Customer Assistance Program?
Yes, they do. I've reached out to them a couple times. I haven't heard back, but they are on our paper application. So we have on our paper application all the municipal electric companies are listed. So people can apply for that. I just have to basically train somebody from Sussex Co-op so they can do the utility review. But if you want to reach out to them and say, there's this program at Shares, you need to contact them back. I'll take the help.
We got a couple questions about whether this can be shared. We'd be happy to follow up after the webinar to share the slides and maybe even post on some websites so you guys can go back to it. Any other questions? Any program for oil heating assistance? I'm opening that one up to the floor.
I know they can get assistance with LIHEAP.
I was just about to say that,
yeah.
yes, that would be the Home Energy Assistance Program. So Home Energy Assistance cover any source of heating.
Thank you. We have another question. Is there any assistance with lot fees for mobile homeowners? Pauline, I don't know if you want to clarify. Are you referring to the mortgage and rental assistance program that shares covered towards the end of their presentation? Yes.
So trying to think about that because I do know a few people who live in trailers or mobile homes. It depends. Like the one I know, their lot fees are considered rent. So if it's considered rent, I would think they would qualify under that, but I will have to double check because I haven't been asked that before. But if it's not considered rent, I would say probably not. At least the one person I know off the top of my head, it is considered rent. I mean, in that case, we usually verify with the landlord. So, or in that case, I guess it would be the park officer, whoever. But well, I'll look into that and if you just and we'll send out a message to everybody when the program opens. I'll put that in there about whether or not lot fees are covered.
Okay, so as far as TANF, they are auto enrolled into USF and LIHEAP. The 80% for the income qualified customers, we just need them to, come apply for the program. So that's why we're at 20%, and this is why we're trying to bring awareness of the programs to any constituents that are not aware of the programs, and we need you all to kind of provide that information to your constituents and allow them to be aware of the program so they can apply.
Thank you, Elizabeth. The next question that we had that was addressed in the chat, not sure if it was mentioned, but if the water and sewer is not in a tenant's name, but they have to pay as part of a tenant lease agreement, can they get assistance and what are the requirements? Shares let them know, yes, as long as a lease or a letter from the landlord states the tenant is responsible. Are there any more questions? Keep them coming. Are most of the applications available online, or do you prefer residents to call for certain applications?
So I don't want to interrupt. So for
No, you're
the
good.
Home Energy Assistance Program, I did include the link for the online application process. We do encourage online application, but we do understand that there are a lot of New Jersey residents who are not equipped to do applications online. So I did also include the link for the New Jersey agencies. It's a full list of at least 1 or 2 agencies per county.
Thank you, Charisma. We got a question for BPU for the winter termination / summer termination program. How are utilities made aware that someone is enrolled in those programs?
The customer would have to reach out to the utility company if they have, but if they have USF or LIHEAP, some utility companies will auto enroll them into winter termination program or the summer termination program. But we do insist that the customers reach out to their utilities to, let them know that they're facing some type of hardship and please place them under the winter termination program or the summer termination program.
Thank you, Elizabeth. The next one applies to technically the three of you. But Nick, you covered this in your presentation. If an applicant is over income for LIHEAP and USF, why must they still apply before the PAGE grant?
So yeah, I just said that if, they provide income documents that show that they're over, we don't need to see that they were denied for being over income. Eligible, and then they can apply directly for PAGE. And I got a question about what asked if of a municipality to be a participant. So really, it's like with our utility companies, they have to do a utility review after an application is deemed complete. So we just want to verify the account holder name, the account number, the service address, and the account balance with the municipality. So they can log in. So it's not over emails to make sure it's secure. We give each municipality, and however many people want to, account access to our portal. They would just log in. They get a list of apps that we've completed and processing, and just say, it's ready for utility review. They would click into there, and it just lists the information, and they say, yes, that's correct, or no, it's incorrect. And if it's not correct, they just correct that. Probably takes 5 minutes in application at the most. So that would be the involvement of the municipalities. Once that utility review is complete, they're done with that application.
Thank you, Nick. This next question is for BPU. To clarify, the winter termination program only has up to 12-month payment plans, and the summer termination program has up to 24-month payment plans?
Correct.
All right, next question. We have encountered a backlog of USF applications and an issue getting in touch with the local agency. Is this being worked on? Charisma, I can turn that over to you, but just quickly, yes, if you guys are having issues with specific agencies, please reach out to us so that we can also help facilitate some contact there.
And I just want to add that the programs are closed right now, so it shouldn't be a backlog with the USF LIHEAP. LIHEAP closed June 30th. USF closed August 15th. So the new season, it starts October 1st. So it should not be any backlog at the moment.
But following what Elizabeth said, there shouldn't be a backlog, but I have included my contact information. Please contact me separately so we can discuss that.
All right, we have a question from Senator McKnight's office. If you were grossly overcharged for your water bill in 2022, is there any recourse you can take now?
You can reach out to the Board of Public Utilities and we can file a complaint if that is a regulated water company. If it's a municipal water company, we would suggest that you reach out to your township, city hall, mayor's office for them to, resolve the situation.
All right, are there any more questions? And if there are any questions that you don't think of right now, please feel free to just follow up after the webinar and shoot us an email. Everyone's contact information, I can drop my contact info as well, has been shared in the chat. So if there's anything you didn't think of or anything that does come up, we're happy to help you out and answer any questions you may have. All right, I'm going to give it like a 5-second countdown. Any more questions before we wrap up? All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. We appreciate your time. We hope that you were able to get something helpful out of this and that this information is helpful for you and your constituents. If you have any questions, please, or feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Bye, everyone.